All right. Started it up. So yeah, today gonna go over Guild Wars 1, game that I played a whole lot a long time ago. According to the game, I played it just over 15 years ago. Granted, most of that 15 years was spent not playing the game, instead moving on to other things like Final Fantasy XIV more recently, and just other games in general. But seeing all the MMO news recently, I kept seeing Guild Wars 1 pop up, like, is it dead? Or you know, what's the state of Guild Wars 1 nowadays? And apparently, there's still a bit of people playing it. But hit me with a bunch of nostalgia just to see it being played again after having played so many hours of it in my youth. So I wanted to go back to it, see what it's like now that I've been playing things like Final Fantasy XIV. How does it compare? What kind of mechanics are unique to it? And yeah. So, just to give kind of like a little primer on Guild Wars 1, it was developed by ArenaNet, which was apparently, from a quick research, ArenaNet was created by some developers from Blizzard that left to go and create this company, to go create another MMO. Who knows if they were trying to make the next WoW killer, but at the very least, they were trying to make something different, which I think they accomplished here. But developed by ArenaNet, published by NCSoft. The game came out as 3 separate campaigns and then 1 expansion. The unique part of that being that each campaign you could own independently of each other. So you could start from either one point. You didn't have to have all 3. You didn't have to have the first one to play the second one to play the third one. Instead, you could start either on the first one that came out, which was Guild Wars, later to be kind of retitled Guild Wars Prophecies, which that came out in April of 2005. So it looks like April 26th, 2005. Then there was Guild Wars Factions, which came out a year later, April 28th, 2006. And then Guild Wars Nightfall, that came out the same year, so they were just pumping these things out. October 27th, still 2006. And then later they came out with, the year afterwards, they came out with an expansion called Eye of the North that, unlike the campaigns that you could go and buy individually, it instead required that you had one of the original campaigns to be able to play it. But yeah, so going back into the game after this much time, it's just interesting to see how it differs. The biggest thing that I keep running into is that I can't jump. Space goes and does what jump would be in Final Fantasy, so I'm trying to train my mind to go back into the past here. One of the other big pieces of it, though, is that outside of towns, like where I'm at right now, everything's all instanced. So there's nobody else other than your group here. That means that, you know, you don't have to worry about somebody coming over, taking a bunch of mobs. They even have specific, like, achievements or titles in this game that are specifically somewhere along this line. It's a Vanquisher title. Yeah, Vanquisher. Elonian Vanquisher. That's where I'm at right now. So in this one, the point of this this title is that you'd go through each of the maps and you would kill literally all the enemies, all the bosses, and you could get a specific title for going through and just, yeah, you know, wiping out everything. Looking things up, what they also mentioned was by having these instanced areas instead of, you know, just having wide open areas that everybody could explore at the same time, so that they can make more unique maps that change based on, you know, quest progress or something like that, something that made sense in the story that wouldn't have to, you know, change how it looked for everybody else. So you could have more dramatic, you know, the sky might darken red as, you know, the evil mage is finishing their spell, something along those lines. Which for you is really cool, because you can go and see that happening. You can feel like you're in the middle of something super dire. Versus everybody else that once they get here, it's not going to do anything. Another big part of it is that you could technically, you know, it's an MMO and everything, but you could technically play this game essentially solo. Let me just adjust this down a little bit. But yeah, in the game, in the base game, they had heroes that were essentially just NPCs. They had pre-built skill bars and everything, and they were level appropriate to the area that they were in. With the introduction of Guild Wars Nightfall, they brought in heroes that were like specific NPCs, like the ones that are walking with me at this point, that you could recruit. They each had their own levels and everything. There was actually a surprising amount of customization that you could do. You could specifically set them with any skills that you happen to have. You could change their attributes, you could change their classes, you could change their weapons and armor. So you got to pick everything that they did or they wore. You could also upgrade them. There was specific achievements for you'd get certain materials to technically upgrade their armor, which is, I guess armor is not something that you can change, but you can give them different weapons. You could customize their armor with runes and things of that sort, which we'll talk about in a minute here. But yeah, so it was an MMO that you could play by yourself, essentially, which always seemed like a fun piece to me. I think this is what kind of took me away from the aspect of, you know, teamwork when it came to Final Fantasy XIV and other MMOs that I got into, where you were supposed to actually, like, you know, talk to people or have people help you. Instead, I was always just looking for the way that I could just do it all myself. Having played so much of Guild Wars 1, I felt like every MMO should have this sort of option. Because why not? Why should I have to rely on others to complete the game? And granted, a lot of MMOs do have some sort of option like that, some sort of like NPCs that may take over. Final Fantasy XIV has command missions or squadron. It takes your squadron, your NPCs that you recruit through getting like achievements and stuff. And you can customize them as well, but more so just in their look and what class they are. This one felt a lot more. You could make specific builds. There were like specific builds that not only for your own character, but you can make party-wide builds. You could have up to 7 extra heroes and use them to beat the entire game. You could go through this entire game without talking to anybody. But yeah, so the going around and everything, like all the campaigns had their own starting place. For Nightfall, you started Nightfall, you actually started here because you go from Commodon to the Sunspear Great Hall, then you start moving around to everywhere else. Then you get to the main bits of the story, and eventually you could, if you owned multiple of the campaigns, eventually there was a point where you would get access to the other campaigns, the other areas. You could switch off to like Lion's Arch, which is the Prophecies campaign, or Caning Center, which is the Factions campaign. You could start it from a certain point. So there was still means that you could go and switch between one campaign to another to play with other people that might have other things. And there was a reason to have multiple campaigns, because certain skills, or certain like elite skills, these ones that have kind of a gold border around them, would only be available in certain campaigns. So you might find a build that either you're trying to make or somebody else has made that you couldn't do if you only owned, say, Nightfall, and you wanted to make that work. But the game also had, as you can see, you got to play around with attributes. Your class generally had around 4 attributes, 3 primary attributes, and then 1 like unique attribute. Unique being that eventually you got to the point where you could have 2 jobs, a primary job and a sub job. For the sub job, you didn't get the unique attribute. So in like, I'm on a monk right now, set myself as a monk / mesmer. The unique attribute is divine favor, which is basically, in other MMOs, it kind of sets your potency for your skills. So it'll make you heal better. And then you have your healing prayers, your smiting prayers, and your protection prayers. Since a lot of these weren't just like the monk was the healer. You could also have a DPS-based monk. You could have a damage mitigation-based monk. You could have something in between here. This was all kind of capsulated inside of, you only had 8 skills active at a time. So Unlike playing like Final Fantasy nowadays, where it's just, or from what I've seen of World of Warcraft, where you just have, hotbars take up feels like most of your screen. Instead, this one was fairly pared down. You got 8 skills. Generally, that's 7 skills and an elite skill. So figure out your builds as you will here. But all the skills did interesting things, and you kind of augmented that with your secondary class, where you could set up things like Monk and Mesmer. Mesmer has a lot of denying enemies from doing attacks in some way, either taking their energy and giving some benefit to yourself, or making them kind of like this backfire, which is a hex. It's kind of, you place it on somebody, in other games they might be damage over time things. This is just hexes or debuffs. So you place this on them. If the enemy is doing a spell attack, then they'll take damage every time they do that. And so yeah, you can kind of make up builds that played with a lot of those. A lot of classes also had the means of being multiple kind of jobs. You in say like Final Fantasy, you have like the warrior who's the tank, but technically a monk could be a tank. Technically, warriors are most set up to be a tank. They have the most, say, like self damage mitigation. They have the highest armor, stuff like that. But there were builds that you could come up with that would allow you as, say, a monk, or like an elementalist, which is essentially just like a wizard, or in Final Fantasy terms, like a black mage. There's a means to set them up with their skills to mitigate enough damage that you could technically tank as anybody. And they kind of like took that in Guild Wars 2 even further, that basically everybody's got the means to do just about everything. But looking back on Guild Wars 1, it was always interesting to me. I mean, there's 2 essentially healer classes, but that doesn't mean that other people couldn't heal. Just a lot of other people had like things that they would do for themselves. It's Masters of Whispers guy is a necromancer. One of their primary attributes is like death magic, and that would have a lot of like life steal associated with it. So they could heal themselves really well. They could also raise a bunch of bad guys here. I want to go back into the town and switch Masters of Whispers out for the other necromancer. Pretty sure it's Elias, because I think I have him set up as like a proper necromancer. Lead enchantment. That's the thing that's getting me at this point here. Coming back to the game after reinstalling it and everything. A lot of the, they call them templates here. You could set up your skill bars and you could save them as a template, so you didn't have to go and just like, oh, I just want to put this back on. You didn't have to recreate it every time. You could also make a template code, which was nice if you wanted to share something with somebody else, so that they didn't have to recreate it. You didn't have to look online and just be like, okay, what skills do I need to put on? Instead, you could just share them the code and just be like, this is the armor that you should have. which could be useful. But I got him set up with a couple necromancer skills. I really like the heroes in this, considering that you had so much customization with them. Go and kill one of these plant guys, then he should go to town and start making stuff. So there's a big flesh golem. Look at him, he's so cute. So a big part of being a necromancer, especially if you were a necromancer yourself, is that, I mean, you needed dead bodies to be able to do things. Fairly certain inside of Guild Wars 2, you still need to actually get them from bodies, but you would just build up a big old slew of baddies. And in some ways this made the necromancer, you know, they wouldn't tank themselves, but another way of like, oh look, they can technically tank damage if they wanted to. It's just that it's by putting a whole host of dead guys in front of the enemy, and hopefully they don't get hit. How these guys generally work, you can see that they're all losing health constantly, and if I remember right, they're losing more and more and more health. It goes faster and faster the longer they're alive, so you would need a constant, you know, constant refresh of bodies to remake your guys so that you could actually keep them up for a little bit. But there was a way, that was their way of stopping you from just having one group that just never died, because you could also heal them. Oh, that was also a fun part. So when the necromancer died with a bunch of people, it could ruin things for you. I'm not sure what actually killed him, though. What skill? What skill does he have? Huh. I don't know what actually just killed him right there. I'm sure there's something that I'm just completely forgetting about, but yeah, that was always fun when you were in the middle of a like what would be a dungeon in Final Fantasy, and somehow the necromancer got the aggro, and the actual necromancer, not just their slew of buddy boys. Because once they died, all of a sudden you had just a whole nother mob to fight, and considering that they're generally spec'd to make these guys actually strong, that it wasn't necessarily easy. It's not like, oh, he's dead. You just gotta kill his little minions. That'll be fine. Instead it's like, uh-oh, that flesh golem hits hard.
This reminds me of the Castlevania Forge Master.
Oh, yeah? Which Castlevania?
The movie? I mean, the show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Netflix show, Forge Masters go and make a bunch of stuff. Yeah, they're essentially necromancers. But yeah. And necromancers, that's not the only thing that they can do. They could instead do, like, if we look at them, their unique skill is soul reaping. So anytime a non-spirit creature dies, you gain an energy. Energy is this blue bar down near the bottom here. Maybe I can make things a bit bigger. I wouldn't normally have things gigantic, but just to emphasize the point. But the big blue bar, I've got 58 energy, so every time that I use something, it uses energy to some extent here. If you look on here, you've got different kind of like little tick marks. That's how fast the energy comes back. One thing that now looking back, I'm finding interesting is that I don't have one on me, but I can go put one on. But you could have like enchantment spells. Some of them, like this Aegis one, lasts for 10 seconds. But you could have some like permanent enchantments. And those permanent enchantments, instead of, needing to be refreshed here, instead, they would take down a tick mark on your energy. Yeah, so like life bond. Okay. Life bond. While you maintain this enchantment, whenever target other ally takes damage from an attack, half the damage is redirected to you. Damage you receive this way is reduced by 25. So, you could set that on like a tank. Whoever's tanking. So let's say we put it on Gorin here. So life bond, protection magic, damage mitigation. Gorin's now taking half the amount of damage. The other half is coming back to me, but it's getting reduced by 25 in this case, depending on what you put inside of like your protection prayers, whether you have runes to augment that up even further, could take away even more, but you could help out with damage mitigation that way. Oh, look, Gorin's dancing. But when you do that, now I only have 3 tick marks instead of 4. Let's see. Double click to dismiss. Okay, yeah. So I take it off. I've got 4. I put it on. I've got 3. So you played kind of a balancing act between, putting on permanent enchantments that could be super useful or could be super useful in a given scenario. In the middle of a battle, you could pop off life bond if all of a sudden the situation changed and it no longer made sense to keep life bond on Gorin. You can instead, Elias is taking a bunch of damage. You could switch it over to them. Or just take it off so you can get more energy management, because you're playing with that. Let's see. I've got like a bunch of different birthday presents here. Each year you'd get a birthday present, which I'm fairly certain is normal. Yeah, there's usually something that you get for like playing for a year or something along those lines in most games. But in Guild Wars, you just pop on one day and see that you have a birthday present, which would give you things like these miniatures, which were little minis. If you played Final Fantasy XIV, minis are pretty common. These ones, well, once you first got the mini, you could actually just sell it off to people if you wanted to. But the birthday presents had one of a handful of minis inside of it, of varying qualities. You can see kind of like below each mini, or when I'm hovering over them, they go from like purple to green to gold. Or you could end up getting like tonics and stuff like that. This actually turns me into Gorin, just in case if I wanted a different look here. There was, like, this one's an everlasting one. It's got unlimited uses, but there were also just like single use versions of it. They last for a long time. And I'm pretty sure the only way that you can turn it off is to go somewhere else. But another part that was interesting, considering that once you got outside of a town, it was all instants, they always made a normal mode and a hard mode version. So normal mode, generally you're doing that for like the story, just trying to get through an area. Hard mode specifically went for this this Vanquisher title. So the enemies were, I have a feeling I'll probably just die, but that's half the fun. Well, once you die, you end up back at one of these resurrection shrines. But this person's going to be a lot more intense. So I'm not going to die just instantly. Instead, actually rip my health away. Which I'm not actually set up with any sort of healing. But our boy Gorin almost died. Yeah, so you can go through each... Oh! Well, I'm glad that helped him get a body. Seems like that... If I'm remembering right, that was actually... Like, you do get a penalty. There's a lot of playing with your health in this. So there was a downside to actually dying, which makes sense. Yeah, the inside of like Final Fantasy XIV, you have a downside for getting rezzed, but it's only temporary. But inside of this one, you essentially kind of want to like perfect everything, because the more that you died, the more of a penalty you had, the less health you had, the less chance you probably had that you'll actually stay alive during the whole thing. But yeah, I got this here so you can track how many people you've killed here, because you literally have to go across the whole entire map, which in this case is like this entire area. This is apparently the one spot that I actually got part of the achievement for, because it's all gold in comparison to the red ones. These are all different areas that you can kind of easily keep track of, hey, where have I killed everything? So you didn't have to just kind of remember, since the title didn't really tell you where, or didn't point you in a direction of where you needed to go to finish off the title, like which ones you had left. And titles you could go and throw on yourself. They'd show above your name, or if people looked at you. But yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna move all these. I'm remembering now that, so you had a lot of inventory management, because you started with just a a backpack. So you started with this 20 item backpack, and you had to buy belt pouches or buy bags that would hold more items. And then there's like a little separate bag. I don't remember what that one does. But so that was their kind of like upping your inventory. Then you also had a account wide Zunlai Zunlai chest. That this one you could access from multiple different characters once you unlock the chest in the game. And you know, deposit your money, pick it up on somebody else, pick up different things. Ooh, little miniature seer. But let me go and open up these birthday presents. 4th, 7th, 6th, 3rd, 1st. Okay, now they're kind of in order. So let's see what we get here. Since it should end up with things like these little miniatures or something. Oh, oh, we got a little Necrid horseman. I'm still surprised at how many people are playing the game. But then again, I mean, you paid for the campaign, and then you didn't have to pay a subscription fee, which was the reason that it got me into the game. It's like littler me was trying to make some like cost benefit analysis or something like that, going like, well, I could pay like $60 for Guild Wars, like paying for any other game, but you know, if I'm paying for a subscription for like World of Warcraft or something like that, or even at this point like Final Fantasy, it's like, well, eventually I'm going to hit the amount that Guild Wars costs, and then I will still be able to play Guild Wars, but I wouldn't be able to play that game anymore without continuing to pay more. So that was nice that you could have it. You essentially just bought this like any other game, and then you just got to play it. You could still play it. Okay, just going back and forth, back and forth. Necrid Horseman from the first day one. Ooh, got a miniature abyssal. A little spooky man. 4th day surprise box. Oh, Quetzal Sly, who blends way too much into the grass. Little Birdman. 6th one. Oh, an everlasting tonic. That turns me into a dragon. I'm sure I would have been majorly excited at one point. Because I think I bought all my other tonics, if I remember right. My luck was always getting like these little abyssal guys for everything. These ones, they're rarities, white. So that's the lowest you could get. And a seventh day one, miniature Nyan. Ooh. Little. Looks like a lion and like a armadillo put together. With like little plates. Yeah. Oh, there was a 5th. Actually, I'll put it over here since it's got throw that over there. Throw this over here. Ooh, and a miniature fire drake. A little lizard. A little spicy lizard. Fun. The one I always kept around was little Moa chick. Which then makes sense going into Final Fantasy. It was like, get the black choco chick. Keep that around forever. I'm noticing now, looking back, that all I wanted was to play Final Fantasy. But let's see. You got a handful of heroes, so you got some from like every single class. You generally had multiple. Some of them you would have to have multiple campaigns, or the expansion. Like I remember that Yora comes from Eye of the North. He's a big warrior lady. A real big warrior lady. Super tall. I forget if she turns in... I feel like story-wise she turns into a bear or something. Trying to remember everything off the top of my head. But going back, so I was just playing around with some of these characters. So, you know, you got heroes inside of Nightfall, which is this campaign starts in Commodon, starts in the Chepek village. You go and do, this is essentially like the tutorial island place. You go through a story that kind of brings you through all these different areas, things like that. Then eventually brings you to the mainland, and you finish off the story. Switch over to Lion's Arch again. That's part of like the Prophecies campaign, and it had a similar sort of thing. You can't see where the tutorial area was because story-wise, not really there. But you'd start off in this Ascalon City area, find your way around. Through the story, you'd end up at like Fort Rannoch, Great Northern Wall, ruins of Sirmia, or one of the fun things that I remember both doing and paying for was that since these were all instances, how the game was set up is that to get into a new area, like say this Sardallac Sanitarium, you only need one person in your party to get to that town. So if one person went in, your entire party went in. So what that means is that you could have someone, you could party up with people that were higher level than you. You'd have someone run from Ascalon City to the breach over here to Pike and Square, and that's kind of like your checkpoint. You've now unlocked this town. There wasn't really a story, you know, as far as the story is concerned, you were supposed to go off this direction and see all the dungeons and everything, but nothing actually stopped you from getting to other areas, short of like in other campaigns, like you're stuck on an island for the tutorial. There wasn't anything that you could do about that. But in the Prophecies campaign, you could actually just have someone that's set up to keep themselves alive, bring you all the way through. Like, pretty sure there's a big reason why on my map you may be able to see that like this area right here is nice and clear, but this area right here is blurry. Don't know. There's like a fog of war on it. But you can see that right here, right, this little like swirly is the loading zone between the two different maps, from the Breach to DSL Lowlands. So I was obviously right here at one point, but not throughout the rest of the map. So I must have had somebody run me on this character from this point to probably Greenwich Courthouse. And then from there up to this Ascalon foothills. So I would only ever be at the transition area. And then later, actually, it looks like I went through these areas. But that was something that you could do at least in the Prophecies campaign. So you could have somebody run you to what would in the end be Lion's Arch, which is the big main town. And from there you'd gain access to the other campaigns. What I was trying to do with all my characters is oh hey Lion's Arch. So I was trying to get this title of Legendary Survivor. And what the title required you to do was that there's three tiers to it. The first tier was just getting to level 20, which is the max level in the game, without dying. The second tier of it was getting to like 580,000 experience without dying, and then the third part was getting to 1,337. This is showing 1,337,000 like 500 experience. This is showing the experience that I got before I died, which is basically I got the achievement. Then as a celebration, I just went and died to probably some super low level thing. But it used to be kind of like an exclusive achievement because you either got to this point or you died, and there wasn't really any way around that. Around the point in time where I stopped playing, they came out with an update that you could reset your experience. You'd still be level 20, so it didn't like reset your level, but it reset your experience as far as the title's concerned. So you didn't have to like recreate a character if you died while trying to go for this. But I was trying to do it the hard way. And so every single time I died, since it was before this update, I would have to completely delete my character, remake them, get them back to the area that there was an area that you could farm to get experience. But it wasn't like at the beginning of the game, so would have to remake my character and then get back there, which involved people running to this area, to Lion's Arch, to get to the other campaigns, to get some other stuff. And it was fun.
Lion's Arch is also in the second Guild Wars.
Yeah. Which I'm trying to remember other areas that are also, like, all of the campaigns are in the land of Tyria. But
That sounds familiar.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense because Guild Wars 2 would also be in the land of Tyria. It's just different sections. But I forget what, like, we haven't played it recent enough that I remember, like, specifics. But I could imagine that there was, like, I'm pretty sure it feels like Rata Sum is like where the little boys are. which I think they might be here too. Yeah, these guys. Like in Guild Wars 2, you can actually make these guys as characters.
Why me?
For the life of me, I'm trying to remember what their names were. Yeah, like Ula. Because in Guild Wars 1, you didn't get to pick your race or anything like that. But in Guild Wars 2, it opened up different races and more customization options. And a lot of the races that you could pick from were either, races that you saw in Guild Wars 1 or like enemies from Guild Wars 1 that would later not be enemies.
Yeah, those guys, those little guys were like in like a spacey looking place.
Yeah, which Guild Wars 2 takes place like 150 years or like 250 years or something after this game. So I'm pretty sure Radisum is the big town for these people.
That makes sense. And then there's also leaf people.
Yeah, which the Leaf people, I think they're from there's a jungle somewhere. Divinity Coast, Fisherman's Haven, Riverside Province. Oh, yeah, like the hinge of Denravi, Tangleroot.
Tangleroot.
Yeah, that sounds like something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was part of my excitement of us playing Guild Wars 2 was seeing all the things from Guild Wars 1 that I happened to remember, and then trying to force my excitement on you as if you were going to be just as excited about seeing Lion's Arch or something.
Well, I didn't know that. I just played it because I was like, oh, there's so many races. I didn't think that Guild Wars 1 didn't allow you to pick your race.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we could go take a look here. I left a slot open. So you can make a role-playing character, which was just like your normal character. You start at level 1, you go through the story and everything. You could also make a PvP character in case all you were trying to do was PvP. It just set you at the max level, and you had access to all the skills that you have unlocked on your account. Which was an interesting thing. Like, as far as your character's concerned, you may not know certain skills, but as far as your account's concerned, at one point you have unlocked this skill, so you can unlock it easier with other people via like tomes or just buying them from a skill trader. But if you're making like a role play character, so you pick between the different campaigns. If you didn't own a campaign, you wouldn't be able to click on the ones that you didn't have. Guild Wars, the original one, renamed Prophecies in all but the box art, because not like they can change boxes or anything. You start in either one of these, and like the first third of the game is specific to there, and you're going through a specific story. Like, factions technically had nothing to do with Prophecies. You can move your character from one to the other to do the portion of the Prophecies story that you could start from there, but you couldn't like go from factions to like they didn't like intertwine really.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how Final Fantasy decided that each expansion is a continuation of another, instead of doing this where each of them are their own story.
Yeah, like if Heaven's Word was just by itself, you could buy that separate from everything and didn't have anything to do with the story.
Imagine starting in Heaven's Word, and the like you would have access to the the foundation area. You start in foundation. You might be a dragoon in the beginning.
You
Who
might be a
knows?
machinist.
Yeah.
You could actually start with Astro.
Yeah.
But yeah, and each one of them, like, this is the main prophecies being the main campaign. First campaign, you had the main classes. So you had warrior, axes, swords, hammers, and tactics was their unique attribute. Rangers, uh, archery, beast mastery, and attunement to nature. They also had traps. Traps were super nut. You could set like just a crap ton of traps on the ground in one spot, and then guide a mob of enemies over to it. And it would just explode them.
That's what you do in some games. I mean, I played Ragnarok Online. You do that for like higher level monsters. Sometimes they get trapped there and you don't get hit, and you could kill them without getting hit.
Yeah, yeah. It was always you could make like trapper teams, which was always good. You know, you have like one person that's taking all the aggro, but then like 7 other people setting up traps in one area, and just watch your computer melt as all the traps go off at the same time. They had monks, which confused me for every single game. Hey there. Got the audio on mute? Oh, yeah. Well, what's the plan? Oh, I'm basically just kind of reminiscing about about Guild Wars at this point, but was planning on like popping into the start of one of the campaigns or something, just to see, just to remember what it was like. But well, I was gonna go over the classes a little bit. Even though I've talked Mrs.'s ear off about Guild Wars in the past here. Just doing a little recap, so hopefully I remember.
Like, these are all the classes that I would be able to play in Guild Wars 2. They just look a lot different because, I don't know, I remember Mesmer's being like the teleporty person.
Yeah, and that was kind of the fun part. Like I said earlier, that a lot of the classes, you know, warrior is pretty standard on like you could be a tank. Your biggest decisions were, did you want to use hammers that I think had more like knockdown conditions versus axes, which if I remember right, had more like maybe like bleeding or deep wound condition, or swords that had probably also bleeding, but were like faster or something along those lines. Warriors were kind of simplistic in that, but rangers, a lot of the other classes had kind of like different unique builds you can kind of go with. Rangers, you could tame monsters as animal companions, certain ones, like you know, you could tame a bear or something like that, and so you could spec your person to be a beast master, and or you can spec them to be a trapper, or you could spec them to be just to be really good at summoning these nature spirits that gave like buffs to people in a certain area, or expect them to be really good at marksmanship, so they're really good with their bow. Monks confusing me the entire time with all my future games, because they're one of the main healing classes, so I thought in every future game that monks were healers. Now I get that their monk is more like in other games would be like a priest or a cleric, or in Final Fantasy a white mage. Yeah, going into other games and figuring out that monks were essentially DPS classes that punch people a whole bunch. I just started off on the wrong foot, apparently. Necromancers, casting hexes, raising bodies, mesmers, usually influencing how much energy that the monsters or other things have to do their actions, and also like conditions that have conditionals on them, like if they attack or if they use a spell, then oops, it hurts them. Elementalists being just shooting a bunch of elements. Final Fantasy terms, that's essentially a black mage. But let's see. Then for factions, they also had assassins, daggers, stab. Granted, you could also spec them to be more towards like critical strikes, and they could use other weapons. So you could have like a...
What's a ritualist? I've never seen that.
Yeah, so to finish it off, assassins are like ninjas, but you could set them up with different weapons too, because their unique attribute for like critical strikes could be used on things other than daggers. So unlike Final Fantasy XIV, you didn't have to use daggers. You could use a bow and just get super cool critical strikes and stuff like that. Ritualists were kind of the other, in my head, healers, generally. Instead of it being you healed somebody directly, it would be you summoned a spirit that has an aura that will heal people that's in it, like if they take damage or something along those lines. Yes. So you go and summon a bunch of spirits. You'd also like, I'm pretty sure you summon like weapons that people can use. You'd summon big like incense pots sort of things, it seemed like, and that would, like, dropping them would do a certain like conditional benefit to you. Like you might heal yourself if you drop the thing, but while you're holding it, your spirits do more damage, something along those lines. Then in Nightfall they had Paragon, which in Final Fantasy XIV terms is kind of like a dancer, but even more so. They were also in heavy armor, but a lot of they had a lot of what are called in their chants. So kind of in the same sense of Final Fantasy XIV, you have your dance that like buffs your dance partner or could buff damage for like the entire team. Instead, Paragons had things that like modified how people, like what types of damage people did. Like they'd do like, chant of fiery passion or something like that. If I signed on to my Paragon character, I could probably actually find actual skills, but that skill would like, it changes their damage type to fire. They have a 10% chance of adding like a burning condition to somebody. Then the last class they came out with was Dervish, and I mean they have a scythe, so I want to say it's like what Reaper is going to be like inside of Final Fantasy XIV, but they were big on self-enchantments. So, and like playing around with, like I was mentioning for Ritualist, how you could like summon an item that when you drop it, it does something in comparison to when you're holding it. Dervish would have like an enchantment that, say makes them take less damage, but they might have a skill that gets rid of an enchantment. And when the enchantment stops, then maybe they do damage to everyone around them. So you're playing around with all your enchantments and you're trying to like balance like, okay, what's the line of enchantments that I have, and then what skills am I using to end ones early so that they do another beneficial effect. That sort of thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. In Guild Wars 2, I know that they have these main classes.
Yeah, they don't have the expansion classes from this game.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they did when we were playing it and everything. I mean,
Mesmer was like the newest one that we saw when we started playing Guild Wars 2.
yeah. And Mesmer was super fun in that game. I really do like the ability to teleport people somewhere else. Like, they didn't just have game like attacks and stuff. There was actually some sort of like utility that they could do, especially because we mainly played it to do the jump quests that were inside of the game, which eventually maybe we'll play around with. But yeah. Okay. I want to start one of them, but I don't know what. Like, I really like how they set up prophecies as their first one. But does anybody have any opinion on which one, if we were to start a new character, which direction should we go? Maybe play through the start or something like that. So we got prophecies, we got factions, we got nightfall. And eventually, I'll just leave it up to you. Let's see.
What classes haven't you played?
I've played all of them.
Oh, cute.
Because back here, I specifically... So when you first bought... When you bought one of the campaigns, you had like 5 character slots or 6 character slots or something. And then when you bought one of the other campaigns, they gave you like 2 more character slots. And then I bought more character slots because I wanted one of each class. And then also 1 slot for a PvP character. So I remember doing that. I'm very thankful to Final Fantasy XIV, where even though we've done the what some might call dumb move of making an alt character that we then leveled up just as much as our primary characters.
Or more than the primary.
Yeah, this is where my obsession for leveling up characters came from, because I have 11 different characters and they're all leveled up. And they were all trying to go for this dumb achievement where I get a crap ton of experience without dying. But yeah, what do you say?
I want to see what a ritualist would be like.
Okay. And we'll go into factions. We'll make a ritualist. We got options here. Be a male or female. Do you got a preference?
Female.
Oh, right.
You only have guy characters.
I know. Let's see. And we got a bunch of different hair options. A bunch, at least in maybe not in comparison to some games, but this feels like the same amount of options you have as a Viera in Final Fantasy XIV. So
Yeah, they're very limited options.
you got a nice little side pony. I mean, half the time if you're wearing the headpiece that comes with a good amount of the ritualist gear, all of this is going to be covered up all the time.
Oh, so you don't just wear flowers sometimes.
I mean, you can.
How much armor is a flower?
How much? I don't know. It depends on the flower. Let's see. What kind of hair do we want to get going on here? Nice long hair with some doodly bobs on the side. Nice little swept to the side look. This one looks like it would be
Clean.
it's very clean, but I was thinking of my like All-Ra character in Final Fantasy XIV. Like these are like the little horns.
Oh.
Another nice hairstyle. This feels like I would see this normally if I went outside. Ooh. Double braid.
Well, at least we don't need to spend like hours on the character creation screen.
Yeah, I guess that's one benefit, you know, if this was like, you know, an Elder Scrolls game or something like that, or even Final Fantasy XIV, that we'd be here forever. We're not setting the nose slider up and down one point just to see, you know, just to make it perfect. But yeah.
Well, you picked the hair.
Okay. Well, we'll go a nice little side pony with flower.
So much armor.
I know. Now, what hair color should we go for?
Let's do gray.
Ooh, like this one? Because this is like platinum blonde.
Yeah.
All right. We got different faces here. Oh. This one's got a lot of teeth showing.
Her chest is so distracting.
Let's see. It's also kind of weird to look at this and be like, okay, like the jawline is moving, but like the face isn't, but sometimes the eyes are getting like a lot bigger. Like, I don't know, it's just throwing me off a little bit.
Sweet anime eyes.
Sweet anime. Okay. We'll just go with this one. Nice little like beauty mark. Or a mole.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we want us to look undead? I feel like that's what we normally end up doing.
True. We just look like either dead people or people who are alive.
We'll go.
Or sunburned.
Yeah. We'll go, you know, we're one with the spirit, so we might as well look like a spirit ourselves. Yeah, here's the headpiece, so it's like, hey, remember that hair that you made? It doesn't matter. But we can make them incredibly short. Or incredibly tall.
I mean, you could also look like you have the flower on with the hide helmet, right?
The what?
Like the hiding helmet.
Yeah, you can hide your helmet and stuff like that, but, you know, if you're trying to really look like you're, you know, really get into the ritualist look, then you probably have your helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make it nice in between. Nice halfway. Let's see. Ooh, this will work out just perfect. I can't put Mr. because the names have to have at least 3 characters.
Oh.
So it's good we went this direction. Okay. So we start in the monastery overlook. Xingye Island, 1582 CC. "200 years have passed since the Jade Wind remade the face of Kantha. But the Empire of the Dragon still needs heroes. For decades, young Kanthans have come to Xingye Monastery to learn from the greatest living hero of Kantha, Hopefully I'm saying that right. The ritualist known as Master Togo. Ooh. We've started. Greetings, students. Welcome to Xingzhe Monastery, Kantha's premier training academy for young heroes. You have been invited here because you show great promise. That's this guy up here. I don't know why I'm just staring at that guy. There's Kisai and Mai. You may talk to Master... How do you say that? NG.
What?
How do you pronounce NG?
Oh, I think it's Ing.
Ing? Okay. Because I didn't want to say just like...
I mean, I have a friend with that last name, so I remember it's either like high school or middle school friend, but like they had that name. It was really hard for people to understand at first.
Yeah.
There's like no vowels.
Welcome to Xingzhe Monastery. Master Ing. I will begin by teaching you a few basic procedures. First, let us discuss moving the camera and looking around. Kisai and Mai, pay close attention while Mrs. Dancing Frog does as I say. All right. I'm looking at... It went by too fast. All right. To look around, simply hold down the right mouse button while moving the mouse. Try looking behind you in the direction I'm facing. All right. Whenever you're ready, continue your training. Left-click me, and we'll continue. See the chest over there? I would like you to walk over and retrieve something from it. Done. Ooh, my starter ritualist wand. As you can see, I left a weapon in the chest for you. Please pick up the weapon by left-clicking it. When you pick up an item, it will automatically go into your backpack. Now that the weapon's in your inventory, you can equip it. To open the inventory, click the menu button in the lower left corner of the screen, select inventory, or just press I. Manted hatchlings. Time for your next lesson. The green exclamation point over my head means that I have a quest for you. Come and talk to me, and I will tell you more about the quests. For this quest, I need you to aid in clearing the training grounds here of some annoying manted hatchlings that have infested the place. But before you can help me, you must formally accept the quest. Please accept this quest now. Get 2,000 experience, and we get the Resurrection Signet, which is how you bring people back to life if they happen to die. Now that you have accepted the quest, it appears in your quest log. To view the quest log, click the menu button in the lower left corner of the screen, select quest log. Keep saying lower left. Mine's way up here. Alright, we gotta get some manted hatchlings. Dancing Frog, whenever you're ready to continue your training, left click me and we'll continue. And then you'll just keep saying that because obviously I'm gonna forget. The quest log contains information about quests you have accepted but not yet completed. This information includes specific steps for completing the quest, as well as summary of the quest objectives. Do you see the green starburst on your map? That shows you the location of the next step of your currently selected quest. Please excuse my interruption, but what happens if the goal is not within the scope of the minimap? A good question. If the next step is far away, a green arrow in the minimap will point you in the general direction of your goal. Any other questions? It's really, this is like the tutorial of Tutorial Island.
Oh my gosh, the little avatar that someone made has 2 cups of coffee.
Ooh, delicious. Let's see. Oh, yes, sir. Are mantid hatchlings very large? What do they look like? How fearsome are they? What do they... I think those questions will be best answered by seeing one in the flesh. Meet me at the gate when you're ready, and we'll go find some. Through the gate are a number of vicious, bloodthirsty, flesh-eating mantid hatchlings. I will let you face the first one on your own so I can observe your combat technique. Suddenly, I'm not feeling well. So we got allies. We got me. Do you see that mantid hatchling up ahead? Simply left-click it to begin your attack. Kasai and Mai, stand fast, please. I want to see how Mrs. Dancing Frog handles the situation. Just die instantly.
Wait.
When defeated, creatures drop whatever they are carrying. Gold, weapons, and so on. If you're in a group, any gold is divided evenly among members, while items are randomly assigned to a single group member. Let us fight with honor. Now keep moving forward. This time, Kasai and Mai will help you. Remember, however mighty we may become, we must rely on our allies for support. I will do my best. So we haven't got any things yet. Oh man, they're so fast. Good work, students. Now, if you will step inside the gate to the next area, we will talk about death. Oh no, Mai got hurt. Ooh, there's a big resurrection stone. So I had to go through this every single time I restarted my character.
It's the same story, so I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, like, oops, I messed up and I died. Start all the way over. Not only start all the way over, but I have to do this entire piece again.
Well, you were trying to get an achievement.
Yeah. You did very well against those hatchlings, but there will likely be times when things do not go in your favor. Kasai, Mai, Mrs. Dancing Frog, follow me to the resurrection shrine, please. We did it. Oh. Resurrection shrines become active as you near them. If you die, you will be resurrected at the nearest active shrine. You will know that a shrine is active by the rude glow emanating from it. Do not worry over much, students. Thanks to the resurrection shrine, you will be back soon enough. With such powerful tools at our disposal, we will have little to fear in combat. Do not become overconfident, Kasai. You may have noticed a box in the upper left-hand corner of your screen that reads -15. This is called a death penalty. Each time you die, your maximum health and energy are reduced. The limit to this death penalty is 60%, which can be quite harsh when you're attempting to battle a difficult foe. Is there no remedy for this death penalty? As you defeat foes in combat, you will reduce your death penalty. Also, visiting a town or other place of rest will fully eliminate your death penalty. And if there are no resurrection shrines in the area, at times you may undertake dangerous missions that have no resurrection shrines. In such cases, death will require you to restart the mission from the beginning. It is possible to learn skills to resurrect fallen companions, but first, we should concentrate on skills that will keep you alive. Skills produce a variety of effects, from healing your allies to damaging your foes to allowing you to run more quickly. Using skills effectively is often the key to victory. I have just given each of you 2 basic skills from your chosen profession. You should now be equipped in your skill bar at the bottom of your screen. To activate a skill, simply left-click it. Oh yeah, I wanted to set this up before I... Controls. Oh, it's already set. We can also press the 1 through 8 keys to activate the corresponding skills. Is that right? Just so. Weapon of warding. Now that you are suitably prepared for combat, let us go and finish clearing out those manted hatchlings. Meet me at the gate when you're ready. See, I can make a pain spirit. Huh. Why did it not? So this pain spirit is like a DPS spirit, so it'll just like shoot stuff at people. But why didn't it control, action, command? What? How come it's not actually pressing the button? Stop here and look at your mini-map. You are the green dot in the middle. See the white circle around you? Any aggressive enemy that enters this danger zone will notice you and become hostile. Oh, so those red dots on the mini-map are enemies, right? I was wondering about that. Me too. Oh no. See, then we can probably give my... Ooh, an accursed staff. 4 to 6 dark energy. Ooh. It's all better. Very good, students. You're doing well. Give myself something. Make a nice little spirit. When did he walk from over there to over here? Huh. Confused why it's not using my mouse buttons. Or my keyboard buttons.
Weird.
To press these ones. An idol? No, this is two-handed. This is one-handed. But it'd be much the same. Ooh, nice catching that star. So we make a nice little spirit. Beat up some hatchlings. Accursed icon. See, like bows and everything aren't like class specific, so we could technically use a bow. I mean, it doesn't give us a bonus in energy or anything like that, which is mostly what we're using, but I mean, nothing stops us. That was the last of them. Now that you've completed your quest, come speak to me for a reward. Excellent work, Mrs. Dancing Frog. I will explain a few more things, then I believe you are ready to enter the monastery. You have gained a level. Your maximum health increased, and you gained attribute points. You see the new button that says Spend Attribute Points. Click this button now. I know it's in here. The Skills and Attributes panel lets you spend your attribute points. You can access the Skills and Attributes panel by using the menu or by pressing the K key. Yeah, so we got commuting. No inherent effect. Many ritualist skills, especially those related to summoning spirits, become more effective with higher communing. Restoration magic. Helps with your restoration skills. Channeling magic. Channeling skills. Like, you can see that this pain. Pain is a communing skill. Restoration, or weapon of warding. So if we wanted to be a healer, and then there's spawning power. which helps our spirit's health and stuff like that. So these are the four attributes. Spawning power, I believe, is the unique one. So if you use that as like a secondary class, you wouldn't have spawning power. So it means that like a ritualist would still be the best at using spirits, technically, if you were putting points into spawning power, because they'd be stronger spirits. But it doesn't stop another class from utilizing spirits. Oh yeah, okay. He's got more to say. Each time you gain a level, you gain 5 attribute points. Spend the attribute points to improve your attributes. Your attributes enhance your combat abilities in many different ways. Move your mouse pointer over an attribute and hover there to learn what it can do for you. When in town or an outpost, you will be able to raise and lower your attributes freely, enabling you to experiment with different values until you find the combination that works the best for you. Oh yeah. I noticed that when I increased my attributes, some of the number values in my skills changed, so my attributes can sometimes change the effectiveness of my skills. That is correct. Any green number in a skill description can be improved by raising the related attribute. So when we gain a level, our health will increase and we will gain attribute points. Is there anything else? Yes, you also gain a skill point. Skill points are used to learn additional skills from a skill trader. You can also obtain skill points by completing important missions and quests. I think you 3 are ready to enter the monastery now. Follow me. I seem to remember this being the toughest part. Sitting here going like, walk faster!
Well, that seems to be a thing in a lot of MMOs. Sort of like Final Fantasy. You have to like, what was it? Like you have to like tell somebody to go faster or go to you.
Yeah.
Like beckon them.
Let's see. Speak to Ludo at the monastery entrance and he will admit you. Good luck. Do you really think I'm ready? Of course, Kisai. We would not have accepted you here at the monastery if you did not show great potential. These beginning lessons gave you no trouble at all. Thank you, instructor. You are so kind. Bye-bye. So now we're back to the beginning. Instructor is right. Kisai, you did well in the missions. I am sure you have nothing to worry about. Oh, do you think so? Really? You're not just saying that to make me feel better? Remember what instructor said. You would not have been accepted to Xingye Monastery if you were only mediocre. What do you think we'll learn first? I hope it's some new spells, maybe fire spells. Oh, this is so exciting, is it not? I have heard that the new students get divided by their profession, and then go to meet their headmaster first, but I suppose we shall find out shortly. I am Ludo. Welcome to the monastery, young one. I trust that your time with Instructor Ing was informative. If you cannot learn it here, maybe that it cannot be taught. Seek out the headmaster. Ooh, a new ritualist. Welcome. You should seek out Headmaster Quinn in the monastery. She and her staff will provide your training. Good luck. Can you let me into the monastery? Indeed I can. Just let me know when you're ready. And then you get to the main town. See, all the headmasters are right outside of the town. Oh yeah, I have random items. Bonus. Ooh, a fire imp ally. Hourglass staff. Tiger's roar. Insightful soul shrieker. Well, I can't equip any of these. I guess I can, but it's not going to be as good because I don't have 9 in spawning power. But these were the bonus items that you got for like the pre-order or like collector's edition sort of upgrade sort of thing.
Are they supposed to be better than some of the starting stuff that you get from
It's
people?
it's like Final Fantasy in a way. Like, you know, you can get that earring for pre-ordering Endwalker.
Yeah.
Technically, that earring's better than most of the earrings you'll find at the beginning because it's just matching your stats. This is kind of the same way. It comes pre-augmented. So like the halves skill recharge of spells, halves casting time of spells, health plus 45, damage plus 20%. Those are all things like you could get a normal item like this and you could augment it, or it might have attributes, something like that. But you just get to have these ones.
It's cool because I don't know. I also find it interesting to think about like what stats do people decide on making when they're developing a game, and like how does that equate to some specs that you get off of an item?
Yeah, like how do they because basically you have to make a framework sort of thing of like, you know, you can't just be like, well, day one I'm gonna have one stat, and then you know what, I feel like there should just be another one. It's more like, you know, you'd plan out, okay, each I imagine they planned out each group has 3, or in the elementalist case 4 primary attributes and then 1 unique attribute that's supposed to like help out overall their skills or overall the point of their class.
Yeah, like what makes them decide what is better for a class, and like how does how does that happen? Because sometimes like these older games you get to actually decide what to put in, but like Final Fantasy you don't, and you just have like materia that you meld onto your armor.
Yeah. Yeah, like what, like putting in some sort of customization so you feel like you're doing something, you know. In Final Fantasy, they it essentially seems like they focused you more on, at least at this point, just playing the game rather than like fiddling around with materia forever to figure out what's going on. Guild Wars, on the other hand, I mean, if you sat here with no points in anything forever and just tried to beat the game, uh, you're probably not going to have such a good time.
Imagine if you put in the wrong places.
But at least in this, like they were mentioning, when you go into a town, you can put attributes and you can take attributes away. So you're not stuck in a direction, and you don't have to like respec yourself. Like some games, you know, you put points in and it's like Path of Exile, where you put points into skills and attributes, and then like the only way, at least when we were playing it, that you could change those up would be to get some like respec book.
Yeah, and I know the Maple story. You have to buy it with real money just to like respec one stat point.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was like $5 each point.
Ew. But I'm gonna go and communing restoration. Okay. Ludo told me you arrived. Welcome. Spirits tell me that Professor Guy is ready to begin your training in the ritualist arts. It seems that some necromancer or other has left us quite a mess to look after. Not that I am surprised. You'll find Professor Guy in Sunquay Vale. Yeah. Which one's... the necromancer. I assume it's this lady. It's one of the people with a staff. I'm fairly certain this is the elementalist. So each class you would end up back here and just talk to whoever is appropriate for you. Got a bunch of different things. You could get armor, festival hats, tanner. It wants me to go outside. There's also these tablets of wisdom, even more kind of tutorial things. So you could learn even more about skills and all the other aspects. Overcast quests. Missions. This was essentially what crafting was in this game. You go to an armor merchant and you'd have to get like bolts of cloth, pay some money. Sometimes there would be like very specific materials you get from like dungeons and stuff like that. And generally there would be two types of armor. So like we've got on this type, but there was like a same, I'm pretty sure it's the same stats. At this point, same stats, but different look. If you wanted a different look. That's essentially crafting in this game. You can register your guild. I don't know how long I played Guild Wars without actually having a guild.
Do you check your guild when you logged on last and see if they're still there?
Well, I made a guild before I stopped playing. And because at the end, there's what's called the Hall of Monuments. And it has multiple different sections. I'll go look at it at one point here. Or I guess, I mean, there's no big reason. I couldn't do it right now. Yeah, we'll go pop over there. The Hall of Monuments is what connected bonuses from playing this game to Guild Wars 2. So it's the reason why, like, when I sign in, I can get some like extra items, stuff like that, when we make a character. Go through the Azura Gate. We go look in Eye of the North. So the Hall of Monuments was part of the Eye of the North expansion, which the Eye of the North expansion was the connection between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. Kind of like is supposed to like set up stuff for it. They've also made like, pretty sure in Guild Wars 2 they made like legacy stories at this point to even more clarify.
It's funny that we bought all the expansions up to the point where we played the game, but did never go into the story and play the story. We just did jumping quests and traveling through different regions.
Yeah, that's the fun part. See, that's why everybody's got their own way to play the game. Guild Wars 2, jumping quests and exploration. That's all I want. It's kind of like playing Genshin Impact, where it's just like, I don't care about the story, really. Now it's getting to the point where it feels like you have to do the story to actually progress places. But either way, Hall of Monuments. This is the Hall of Monuments, set up in multiple different sections: devotion, fellowship, honor, resilience, valor. Devotion is essentially your mini collection. In all things, there is time for work and time for play, for small for small pleasures, a time for one to look back upon bright days and delicate treasures, never lost and never weary. Witness here the miniature collection of the legendary hero, Apollo Adams, and his account, whose achievements will never be forgotten. You could bring if other people were in your party, you could bring them in here to like show off your Hall of Monuments. So you could display a certain amount. So I've got these ones displayed. Like a little celestial rabbit, a normal rabbit. There's my black moa chick. Miniature car? Char? But this is one of the races you can be in Guild Wars 2. But yeah, so this was your mini collection. Like in Final Fantasy XIV, you just have like a box that you can just summon your minis from. In this game, you have your minis on you to summon them. I forget if there's a way that, you know, if you put them in here that you could like... Oh, I can gaze upon my accomplishments. But, that's a big golem. But, yeah, so one part of this was... in this area was getting a certain amount of minions. You could buy minions from other people, and you got a certain amount of points. There was like a calculator thing on the ArenaNet site that like once you get past a certain threshold, you get a certain amount of points towards your account, get a certain amount of points, and you'll have certain unlocks inside of Guild Wars 2. The minis one was one that I was particularly fond of. But the only way that you really got minis, from what I remember, is from those birthday presents. So
You have a lot of minis.
yeah, but some people had a lot more. The Fellowship was those heroes that I was talking about. You could upgrade them. So you could upgrade like their armor and stuff like that. You went through like I seem to remember you had to get like very specific items and stuff like that to upgrade their armor. You had to upgrade each piece. But once you did, you could add them to your Fellowship area. I literally only got these people, so. And 2 of them are just animals. So so they had the black moa chick over there. But in the game, as a ranger, you could technically tame a black moa, which just looked metal. Look, it's got like little like ankle bracelets with spikes on it, a little necklace with spikes on it.
It looks like it's from the dinosaur times.
Oh, well, yeah, birds are dinosaurs. Basically. So, Black Moa was one of these special animal companions. And then there was another one for just animal companions in general. So if you just had a... Like, this Rainbow Phoenix is technically a animal companion. If I switch to... I have to go back to the town. If I go back to the town, I could switch over to Ranger, and then I could bring out my animal. I don't remember which one I have active. It's been so long. Ranger. Beast Mastery. Pretty sure you just need to add this. Let's see. Oh. I have the Rainbow Phoenix. Okay. And so, since I have the Rainbow Phoenix, the random one that was just walking around isn't sitting around here. But your pet also had a level, so you'd have to level your pet up. Just like the heroes started at certain levels, so you had to level your heroes up. So there was a lot of leveling people up. The honor, and you can see these banners kind of light up the more stuff you have. This one's plain and doesn't have, like this valor one, kind of plain, doesn't have anything. I think the thing changes a little bit, but this one is all kind of glowy. This one's for whatever titles that you have, to some extent. So like I have my Eternal Survivor one. But there's also other titles that you could display.
This game is trying to make you feel good by having a room for yourself with all the trophies that you got.
Exactly. And then you just bring people in here and you go, look at all these things I did. Look, this like legendary spear marshal, holy lightbringer. These are essentially beast tribes in Final Fantasy XIV. And but the thing that was interesting about them is that as you ranked up in them, you got skills that you could use specifically from them. And some of those skills would be like very specific for builds that you were trying to do. But unlike Final Fantasy XIV, where, you know, you may be able to buy some more items or get like a mount or something like that, it always felt interesting that, you know, you got some pretty good skills for actually doing something. On top of being able to put on a title, on top of being able to put it in your Hall of Monuments, which you could then get more points to go towards Guild Wars 2. It was overall good. I have my Eternal Misfortune one. That's what I was talking about for when festivals would happen, there would be like a item that you could use that would either give you a good thing or a bad thing, and you got points either way towards the title. If you got a good thing, you got lucky points. If you got a bad thing, that's why there's Eternal Fortune and Eternal Misfortune. I got both of them. Not the max version of each one, but you didn't need the max version to actually add them in here. Resilience was different armor sets. So these are the Final Fantasy equivalent of like getting like the Eden armor, like the high-end armor, like special armor from dungeons, like the 2B armor and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you put enough of these in here, you get more points. And this is the one I never did because, except for, it looks like one very specific weapon, I wasn't into, even though I was into grinding, you know, a million other things for dumb achievements, I was for some reason not into grinding for weapons. So I never got a whole bunch of them on any of my characters, especially because this Hall of Monuments room isn't account wide. This is character specific. So
Yeah, that makes sense. It's sort of like how achievement works in Final Fantasy.
yeah, I just wish that it was account wide. Some of these are dumb. But yeah, and you can go see the historian, you can look into the scrying pool. You would have to come back here every so often for the Eye of the North expansion story. Like look into the scrying pool and see what the future holds. Okay. Let me pop back to that ritualist that we made. So at this point, we don't have anything. But again, see, we have this beginning quest, and granted, the beginning quest for each profession is not something that you would generally be doing with anybody else, but you could, like, if you and I were both playing at the same time, you could help me with my beginning quest. I could add you to the party and go from there. Look, you have a little, like, you know, in Final Fantasy XIV, I do a little ready check all the time. Instead, you could just put a little check mark. Well, not check mark. But aside from adding other people, you could add henchmen. These are different than heroes because these are pre-made NPCs. So you can see, like, Mai, who was in our little intro.
Yeah, so this is basically. Do you think it's basically ready to go and like all good stats and all?
I mean, it depends because you can see, like, right now, I'm a ritualist level 2. There, you know, Mai's an assassin level 3. Kasai's elementalist level 3. Lucas, warrior level 3. They do have certain skills and everything, but as you level up, they don't level up. When you go to different towns, they may be a different level. Like, these henchmen are generally there. Sometimes, I believe, like, depending on the story, some of these henchmen might not be there because story-wise it doesn't make sense that they're there. But they may be replaced with other people.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But as far as that, their actual, like, levels and everything are specific to the town that you're getting them from, which is generally due to story progress and things like that. Unlike the heroes, that if you get the heroes from the Nightfall campaign, then you can level them up and they'll always be that level. They don't switch to level 3 just because you're in the area that's at the very beginning. But having little henchmen is the fun part of being able to play an MMO by yourself. Let's see, so we have to go all the way over here to go see our ritual. I think it's that red area. Oh, we got a couple extra skills. So, put this on somebody. We put this at, I mean, they died super fast, but so we got Vengeful Weapon. Augments their weapon, so you can put this on, like, Lucas or something. They get essentially Lifesteal. Oh, they're way off in this corner. Painful Bond. You put that on an enemy, and your spirits will do more damage to them. Weapon of Warding. They get health regen. Headmaster Quinn believes you are ready for training, does she? Well, the spirits share many things with her that the rest of us cannot conceive. She is fortunate to have such omniscient allies, is she not? Well, we had better commence your indoctrination into the ritualist arts. The onus is again upon the ritualists to attend to the necromancer's foul leavings. One of their number has lost control of the agglomeration of minions, which are now loose in the cemetery. I want you to take care of this problem for us. It will prove useful in evaluating your abilities. I shall give you some skills that may provide useful in dealing with this task. Once you feel comfortable with how these skills work, speak with me again and begin your test. Ooh, so now we got Union, Whenever a non-spirit ally is in range, takes damage or life steal, it is reduced by 15, and the spirit takes 15 damage. Spirit dies after 32 seconds. So this is where the ritualist becomes more of a like damage mitigation sort of healer, kind of like scholars in
Final Fantasy.
yeah, or like Nocturnal Sect Astros.
I mean, in some ways, yeah.
Yeah. Because, yes, right now I only have one spirit, but eventually I'll have a bunch. You can have a bunch more spirits, so you could put on this union, and then people are taking 15 less damage. And then, I mean, it looks like that's always... Yeah, okay. This is a specific spirit. Okay, yeah. Spirit of Union. Okay. So they would gain more and more health as you bring up your communion skill, meaning that they could last longer and longer. So they're like a different way of a necromancer, like a self-made necromancer.
Yeah.
At long last, the thriving mind and I have awaited... Wait, at long last, the thriving mind I have awaited has arrived. Most comprehend mortality only to a minuscule degree. You, however, will soon perceive the ecstasy of oblivion, for you will be a great ritualist one day. I expect considerable achievement from you, but not to worry. All who choose the path of ritualists are already on the road to eminence. What would you like to learn about? Minions gone wild. Hope you're ready, Mrs. Dancing Frog. Here they come. So got a wild minion. Also got brutal weapon. So we could put this on like Lucas. Now it does even more damage. As long as the bearer is under no enchantments. I believe they can only have one weapon skill at a time. See in like their little life bar, they have a little weapon icon. Or like over here. So you just keep those up. Lucas might benefit from weapon awarding, so get some health back. But Kisai has an enchantment on, so I don't think this brutal weapon would do anything for them. Easy enough. See, henchman? Should do all the work for you. Well, I was just staring at skills. As I said, this was an excellent test of your ritualistic skills. Your training is progressing at a most accelerated rate. Gives me considerable pleasure to send you on to your next instructor. His name is Ong the Ephemeral, and he is a cherished friend to many of us at the monastery. Believe me when I say that Ong is not what you are expecting, but if you hope to be a great ritualist, you will heed him well. He awaits you in Panjang Peninsula. Oh, little kappas. Got turtle shell. Get some money. Oh yeah, and there's random little chests that are around. Chest is locked. Oh yeah, you need lockpicks. Or like a key, which I think like bosses drop. Give myself this weapon of warding. So that is what we got. Yeah, like there is Zinju Life Crawler. That must be a boss. Yeah, he's all glowy. Put this down. Put this down. I shouldn't have walked out there first. Give myself this. All right. Free money. Yeah. Oh, there's the snake babies. I mean, overall, I don't think the game looks too bad for how old it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad looking at all. I feel like it's on a similar sense of like what Valheim looks like.
Yeah, just like simple geometry.
Yeah, in Final Fantasy, there's like a lot of like environmental, atmospheric changes with the weather and the time and whatnot. So it's all different because of that. But in some ways, I feel like the graphics is still as clear as it could be.
Yeah. You can see now that I've switched over to here, all my henchmen upgraded. They're all level 6 now.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so just coming from one town versus another one means that I can walk out and they're 3 times my level. Now they can kill things even faster. So I seem to remember, you'd find the town with the highest level henchmen if you didn't have heroes. Or you just start Nightfall and you get heroes pretty quickly from what I remember. I don't have enough money for a belt pouch. Can't sell that. Da-da-da. Sell all of those. You could also, inside of here, have different weapon sets, so you can quickly switch between like the weapons that you have for your specific builds. You have essentially glamour. They call them costumes in this one, in comparison to like Final Fantasy, where you have glamours. So you could have specific items that look like they're on. Can't get to the Zunlai chest. Oh, because you have to pay 50 gold. You considered purchasing a storage account with the Zunlai Guild. For 500 years, we have been trusted for our reliability and discretion, empowered by ancient magic. Zunlai agents may make your goods accessible at the most remote of locations. For a one-time fee of 50 gold, I can offer you permanent access to the Zunlai storage account. Access is reliable, and there are never any monthly fees. Are you interested? There we go. Now you can get to your account-wide stuff. Get my nice little backpack on so I have some more storage. Considering I don't have any money. Celestial summoning stones, peppermint candies. Mysterious summoning stones. Oh, just some eggs. Yeah, so... Oh, there's another ritualist.
There's a question about this game. Do you think they only integrated like crafting and stuff in Guild Wars 2?
So I showed off a little bit of what crafting is when you walked away for a minute. it's essentially crafting in this game is there is a merchant. Like, I bet maybe this weapons person.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like a Genshin Impact where you go to a person and you craft.
Yeah. So you can see, like, I need 8 iron ingots and 2 wood planks and 200 gold to make a cleaver.
Okay.
And then customize.
It all makes sense. You can't be specialized in everything.
Yeah, in this game, there isn't a crafting class. So you get drops from enemies and stuff like that. There was this area called the Underworld that you could access from any of the campaigns that would have all the like high end like materials that would drop from like certain enemies or certain bosses and stuff like that. And if I remember right, it's like maybe not randomly generated, but the enemies were like super tough to beat. Even if you were taking like your full group of heroes, like you would go, like there would be different sections of it that you would go to, and it would get harder and harder with enemies that were more and more crazy. I bring a message from the Crimson Skull for farmers Zhangzhou of Sumai village. That's close enough. Speak and then be gone. Captain Q Mang of the glorious Crimson Skulls Guild orders the people of these villages to pay 2/3 of their crops in tribute. We will starve if we give you that much. What you ask is impossible. We have many mouths to feed in our guild as well. Surely a farmer eats less than a fighting man. Farmers work to grow those crops. You do nothing to deserve them. Ooh. We protect you against outsiders. None dare attack this village while we patrol these lands. You godless sons of Kappa, rob the village blind. I take it your answer is no. Captain Q-Man will not be pleased. You and your captain can go to the mists for all I care. This is not the end of this matter, farmer. I seem to remember, like, go home to your master and tell them we have no further use for you here. Is this one that, like, started up a quest if you waited around here? I seem to remember there being certain quests or certain things that the most interesting of things was like it in the Prophecies campaign. The tutorial area is kind of a special area in comparison to like this island that we're on, the Xingje monastery. Like you can come back to this monastery anytime you want. Once you get far enough into the game, or if you came from a different campaign, you could come back here and hang out in this town if you wanted to, explore all these areas. But the Prophecies one, your tutorial area was specific, and I'm not getting into specifics about it because story stuff. But you can never return to it after you get to a certain point. But there was a quest for like a random side quest that you could do that gave you this useless item. It was like a broken flute. And you're just like, okay, I got a broken flute. And it was never used in anything. Like it's never used later for like the longest time until the Eye of the North expansion came out. And so like for, I guess, two years, that it was just like, oh, if people held on to this flute
For 2 years.
for 2 years with no use and no like inclination that it was going to be used, then there's like a special dialogue from a certain character that we'll take the flute and we'll like turn it into like an offhand item.
And is Eye of the Storm like right before Guild Wars 2? Is that what you were saying?
It sets up the story.
Do you think you'll see the flute?
Exactly. Yeah, I was avoiding saying Gwen, but I mean, if it's already said, then I mean, I guess out of context, nobody would know what I was talking about
It's
anyway.
okay. I won't remember that.
Yeah. I mean, especially here, that you don't even see Gwen, so.
My point is, I would have a hard time going to older games, but I like Guild Wars 2, so I don't mind that.
Yeah. I just like how they had this game set up. I mean, maybe it's just because I wanted essentially a single player game, but I could put on the. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have done that. But wanting to play a single player game, but saying I'm playing an MMO because I was always just playing with henchmen and heroes. It took me years before I actually joined a guild in Guild Wars. Well, that's rude. Oh, thanks.
I knew you will die.
That's what I get for not paying attention. I should actually be like using my skills and stuff, but
So, for Ritualists, you can't always have a way to heal yourself.
I mean, I have things like this weapon of warding. If I would have put that on myself, I get 2 ticks on the health bar, so I'm getting regen. Eventually, there's a spirit, if I remember right, that actually. Everybody, go beat them up. Eventually, there's a spirit that I believe heals people every time that it hits. I'm really confused why it's not taking my mouse or keyboard inputs.
That would have helped.
Yeah, I know, because I keep pressing them kind of like instinctually.
It's hard to see your hotbar because of the stream avatars.
Oh, yeah.
But it's okay. Like, I could assume, like, there are 5 skills right now, 6 skills right now.
Yeah, I mean, what I could always do is just pop this stuff up a little bit.
That's weird. Why is all of those individual little bars?
I mean, it's just like Final Fantasy XIV. You can just move everything everywhere.
I mean,
Like,
health and energy is usually stuck together.
Yeah, well, maybe I want my energy way up here where I can't even tell. You had a lot of customization, which I forgot all about.
Ooh, put the health bar on the left of energy bar. And then put it on below the hot bar right now. It'll look like what Final Fantasy would be.
Oh, or we can make it like other games. Look at that. Saving space.
No, I mean, like, that's what my idea was, but put it below the hot bar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm still not going to remember. I'm probably just going to get smushed by stuff. It's supposed to also be doing, like, side quests and killing monsters and everything, but, you know, I just get some level 6 henchmen out here and just beat everything up. I imagine Gaia was cryptic, as usual, in his description of me. Did I frighten you? You do not look easily frightened. Well then, let us get started. I bound the souls of some bandits into objects years ago so that the envoys could collect them. Strangely, they never did, and the shackled souls remain here to this day. We'll use them as test subjects for your newly acquired power, but be forewarned that they will show you no mercy if you allow them the upper hand. Please take some time to review the skills I have just given you. When you're ready, speak with me again. We can put these souls to rest. Oh yeah, this is... So. Oh, Spirit Rift. All adjacent foes. Struck with 25 lightning damage. Suffer from cracked armor for 1 second. We'll just get rid of the Resurrection Signet for right now, just for fun. So this is the... it takes 10% of your health, but you have an item that you hold on to, and you can also drop it. So, took 10% of my health, but it also gave me 62 health, and when I drop it, I gain 124 health. It goes away after a certain amount of time, but yeah, that's the kind of like conditional things that you had for ritualists when they are going in, having their items, their item summoning skills. Let's see, restoration, channeling. No, that was more restoration. Communing. Okay. Do not be afraid. I'm Aang, the ephemeral ritualist trainer. I serve... Yeah, shackled spirits. You're ready, approach the soul keepers and open them. Dispatch the shackled spirits using your new skills. Oh no, spirits. More spirits, but our henchmen are so strong that I don't even need to do anything. Which is nice. Bap, bap, bap. Alright. I think this is the last one. We're just like speed running ahead of the ghost. There we go. You'll make a fine ritualist one day, Mrs. Dancing Frog. Training is progressing very well, Mrs. Dancing Frog. You're ready to move on to the next stage of your journey. Master Togo wishes to meet with you in Lanuk Courtyard, just off of the main monastery proper. Use the map to travel there quickly. I seem to remember there being another town, though. Somewhere over here. But also... Oop. Oh. Now just give it to yourself. Stop. Okie dokie. Put down the Union, so I might take less damage. They went and killed everything. That's very nice. Get some bones, a Kappa hatchling shell, some more bone. Is there more people up there? It's red dots. Yeah, okay. Go put weapon of warding on her. Lucas, we give him vengeful weapon. I can go and hold this item. And if I needed health, I could drop this item. Yeah. Starting to remember a tiny bit of it. That drop item button should be somewhere else, though. Put that right there. Get that. Kappa. Bring this back out. You slowly get regen out of battle. That gets bigger and bigger. Faster and faster. Ooh, 11 gold. I'm rich.
When are you rich in games?
Never. Rich to me is 11 gold. Put a whole handful of things on there, so now he's taking more damage from my spirit. Ooh.
Is there a market in this game?
Yeah. Like where you sell the people. Wait. I think I may just be thinking that there was. Because there's a whole trade channel in like you can see. Oh wait, you might not be able to see.
Yeah, I can see it.
There we go. You can actually switch between kind of like in Final Fantasy. You can switch between, you know, your free company chat, all that stuff. There's an actual trade channel, so you know, there's people inside of the main towns just shouting out, you know, want to sell this scroll for 9K.
Oh, I just remember that's like a physical place. Like a channel is like a physical place in like Maple Story. And the market is called the free market. And yeah, that's what you do to sell things. Like you go to a specific channel and go to the free market. Within there are different like rooms, but also like there's the main room. And you would like yell out if you wanted to sell something, but it's really hard to do that. So you would have to set up a booth. And the only way you set up a booth is if you paid money to get a booth.
They did not make it that hard in this game.
That game, like Nexon, just takes kid monies, like money from kids, like all the time.
Oh, oh, these people aren't as spooky as I thought they were going to be. Oh, but they might kill me all the same.
Is there a way to run away?
You could just run. Oh, I'm going to die. I assume that there's... Uh-oh. Stay alive! Yeah, I probably shouldn't be level 3 running around. I was trying to find the other town. Yeah, stay alive. No! Oh, I don't have any energy. Oh yeah, the enemies are fighting each other.
Fun.
And winning. They're doing better than I am. Let's see. Okay. We'll go back to the main thing. I was trying to find the next town, but I thought it was where that transition to the next map was. Instead, it was not. That was a whole nother area. We go up to the big monastery. We go see Master Togo. He's already level 20. Oh, so cool. And Master Quinn has told me great things about you, Mrs. Dancing Frog. You have begun to learn the way of the ritualist, but to teach your full potential, you must choose a second path. Speak with the other headmasters and learn what they have to teach you. When you're ready to make your final choice, come and speak to me again.
That NPC is all over the place.
What?
Do you see them like running around so much?
What, like all of these henchmen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were talking to a dude and they're just running back and forth.
They're just spazzing out. But yeah, so you can go and get your second class. You know, you might get, if you wanted to be the healer, which is kind of the direction that I was going, you might go monk as your second class, or ritualist necromancer. That's kind of competing against each other, but there was a lot of different things you could do. There were a lot of funny builds, and to like augment your equipment. Here, let me pop off of here and pop back into. Pop back in to this character. I wonder if I have the. Somewhere I've probably got armor that's just jam-packed full of runes. See, even in the expansion, even if you had heroes and stuff, there's still henchmen, but they start getting into like you can get an idea of what their build is for that henchman. So Zoe is a interrupt henchman. So these are both archers, and both rangers, but different types of rangers. I like that they make all the NPCs kind of like hang out with each other. Menlo is talking with Sin. All these people are talking together. Let's see. Do I have a bunch of dungeon maps? I'm not seeing my... Unless I put it on a different character, because you could use your other characters once they got to the point that they could access the chest. You could use your other characters as, you know, storage mules. But you could augment your clothes with runes. There was like minor runes, superior runes, and major runes. For minor runes, it would add +1 to like an attribute of some sort. An attribute that's associated with the rune. So like a minor rune of smiting prayers would give you +1 to smiting prayers. But superior or major and superior runes, the trade-off is you got more points, but it took health away from you. So in this case, like with this piece of armor, I put a superior smiting prayers rune on there. So it gives me +3 smiting prayers when I'm wearing it, but it also takes away 75% of my or 75 health. So I put that on. Put on this one that's got divine favor. So you could have someone that's like has really good attributes and everything, but the better you're making them, the less health that you're going to have overall. There was one specific build. It was called a 55 build. And you would put on a bunch of different runes to lessen your health until you got to 55 health. And then you had skills like this protective spirit that you couldn't lose more than 10% of your max health, which when you have 55 health, you can't lose more than 5.5 health per hit. And then there was also Seed of Life. Pretty sure there was even more. Oh, Spirit Bond. So you need more than 50 health, because this spirit bond, you have to take it at least 50 damage. And I think that was calculated before it was reduced by protective spirit. So you'd take an amount of damage and then you'd get healed for way more. So you'd basically be almost invulnerable while you're doing that, as long as nobody like took away your enchantments or interrupted you in some way. So it was super useful. It was really funny going into PvP with like a 55 build and just being unable to be killed. I remember the shield absorption was a big part of that. Each time you get hit, your damage is reduced. So the more people that hit you, the less damage they're doing. And with everything else, as long as you don't get interrupted, you're just getting health back and getting more health back than you're taking. Let's see. Where did it put those clothes? Oh, okay. But this is the armor set that in Guild Wars 2, I'm pretty sure I bought. It was like a cosmetic item.
Oh.
Like, I bought it because this is what I was wearing 90% of the time. Ooh, then they came in this icy blade. Ooh, see how cool that icy blade is? There was also like a flaming sword and a bunch of other things. There's one of the runes that I was talking about, so you could put that rune on a piece of armor. But you see it gives +3 to something, -75 health. You could also play around with that. There was runes of vigor that would give you health, so you can kind of balance out the downside of losing health with those if you wanted to. But you only have so much armor, so you can only play around with your skills so much. Salvage kits to get materials by getting rid of stuff. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to my other characters, open up those birthday presents. Okay. I'm gonna see about opening up the rest of the presents. So I got present vouchers. So I need to go turn them in
To gift boxes?
Yeah, where's the gift person? I think they're on the other side. Collector Zulai gift giver Grimmick. Let's see, which ones do you think I should get? There's years 1 through 7. I don't remember what's in any of them.
Could you get like a variety?
I mean, I could get, I have 6 vouchers. Because you used to just get, like, the first year of your character, you'd get the first birthday surprise box. But apparently they changed it at one point. Maybe if you just didn't sign in. Maybe you had to sign in for it to check and give you that thing. And this is just kind of like now the server's just going like, okay, I know it's been more than a year, but you haven't signed in. Or this character's over 7 years old and they didn't have more than 7 birthday boxes. Maybe that makes more sense. Let's see. We'll just get one of each, but then 2 first birthdays. Okay, let's see what we get. 7th birthday box. Ooh, a miniature Mox again. 6th birthday box. Everlasting Raza. Oh, creepy boy. Just getting so many tonics that turn me into ritualists. 5th birthday box. Miniature Shard Wolf. Oh, that's pretty. That looks pretty wicked. 4th birthday box. Oh, another one of these guys. First birthday boxes. Oh! Where's he at? Come on. There he is. Oh, look at him. He's so plump. Another first birthday box. Oh, a second one. He's got a friend now.
What do you do when you have multiples of minions?
You go and sell them. Like I bet if I turn on the trade channel. But eventually, if I was close enough. Oh, there's enough people on here that there's multiple districts, which are like instances of the town. Dang, there's still a lot of people. There you go. So you see the trade channel, like, want to buy old school, non-inscript, requirement 7 through 13. Lots of people doing stuff. I assume.
So much clutter.
Yeah, I know. That's why I turned off the channel, so that it wouldn't pop up a whole bunch. I believe this dance is one of the collector's edition dances. So you got a special dance. Looks like you have a little spotlight, a little like ghosty goos as backup dancers.
Weird.
So many people. Yeah, you could still play through Guild Wars 1. Let's see. Let's go to the next character. I already did him. Let's bring him to Lion's Arch. We'll go find the gift giver that's here. Let's see. How long did I get? So I got the title with this guy. If I look at my age, I played this character for 37 hours. So it took me more than a day to go and... Oh, that... I basically got the achievement, and then I just stopped playing him. Because my experience, just in general, is the exact same experience as what he has right now. I bet if I do deaths, I've still died 0 times. I could keep getting more experience. Oh, there's the gift giver. Okay, let's see. We'll get a 2nd day birthday box. 6th, a 5th, a 4th. And another 1st one just for fun. 7th day birthday box. Oh, got a Norn Bear. I feel like in Guild Wars 2, I think you get to be like one of the races is the Norn. Really tall people. I feel like.
Yeah.
And so the Norn, if I remember right, they're the ones that are supposed to be they can turn into animals. That's why I was trying to go outside with one of my other characters and turn on the bear skill. And then I was sad when I didn't turn into a bear.
It's okay.
Yeah. First birthday box. Ooh, Prince Rurik. This might be one that I don't have on my main character. Second birthday box. Ooh. Palawajoko. Where's he at? It's Pyre Fierce Shot. Oh. Who said you can't be these cat boys? Sixth birthday box. Everlasting Milani Tonic. Oh, come on. Get out of here, tonic tipsiness. Fifth birthday box. Ooh, a Siege Devourer. Double-tailed scorpion looking dude.
It's funny that you just log on to just open all of these.
Yeah, this is what I get for not playing the game for almost 10 years. Feels like.
Probably because the last time you logged on was like 6 years ago or 7 years ago, and I was there to just witness you opening presents.
Yeah. That's the best part. Ooh. A miniature Klevdolf. Feels like something I would buy from IKEA.
You just say all the words and you think it's from IKEA.
Ooh, double-headed. Oh, it's got a little beard. I thought those were like little tusks for a second. Okay, so that was cool. I'm pretty sure I should put this inside of the chest. I might be able to add some stuff. Where'd the chest? Oh yeah, it's up here. I'm starting to remember. Ooh, costume maker. What's that? Vision of Lissa costume. Oh, I haven't bought it? Well, that makes sense. Link to the web store. Okay. Let's see. I want to go put these in the chest and then switch to the next character. See what kind of presents we got hiding in there. Got that in there. Got that in there. I feel like there was a button that you can click to get it in there faster. Okay, next character. How many does this have? 6. Okay. So just like everyone else. Gift giver. So I have to pick between gifts. First birthday through 7th birthday. If anybody's got an opinion on which ones to get in which amounts, feel free to post them and I'll get those ones to see what we end up with. Got 6 tickets, but 7 birthday surprise boxes to pick from. But could end up with just 7 7th birthday ones.
Do 6 and 7s.
6 and 7s. Let's see. We'll give it a minute here. Could do one of almost each of them, or 3 of 2 of them, 2 of 3 of them. All right. Well, we'll go with your suggestion. 3 6th birthdays, 3 7th birthdays. We got more characters just in case. Let's see. Birthday surprise number 1. Ooh, do I have anything else on this person? Ooh, a shield, a peppermint spear. That was one of the festive winter items.
Looks funny.
Yeah, you could just have peppermint items everywhere. All right. Got another Everlasting Milani tonic. She's the dervish henchman from Nightfall.
Looks like it.
Okay, 2nd 6th birthday one. Everlasting Gwen tonic. Oh, I wish this would go away faster.
Someone mentioned.
Yeah. Gwen is one of the heroes that you can get. Gwen is also the person that was part of that quest that gives you a useless item that you couldn't do anything with for a couple years. Or a year. 2 years? But if you kept it that entire time, when you eventually met her in the story, you could give that to her. And she'd be like, oh my god, you kept it this whole time? Crazy. 6th birthday box again. Ooh, an Everlasting Zenmai tonic. Hey! It's our little assassin girl.
Wow, you got all the cool people.
I'm surprised I feel like when I was actually playing the game, I never got any of these tonics. Okay. 7th birthday. Ooh, a Burning Titan. Ooh. Spooky. I want to know if there's a way I can go into like first person mode. I feel like there was something. Okay, 2nd 7th birthday. Another Norn Bear. 3rd 7th birthday. Ooh, miniature ooze. There we go. Look at that little oozy boy.
I don't like that.
Is it just because it's the worst parts of oozes and anything with tentacles?
Yeah.
Well, it's still cute. Okay. I really like, unlike Final Fantasy, it's like 3 hours, please take a break. It never actually kicks you off, but it's... Final Fantasy is just like, just keep doing what you're doing. You're probably fine.
Maple's story also has the same message. It'll keep reminding you to take a break.
I like that it keeps your online time while switching characters. Let's see.
That is different.
Ooh, only have 5 on this person. Ooh, but I got some wintergreen candy canes. So you could use these candy canes if you died out in the PvE area. So you got that 15% debuff, up to 60% debuff. You could use the candy canes to get rid of 15% of it. They were super useful when you were trying to get the Vanquisher title, which involved you going into the PvE areas on hard mode and killing all of the monsters that are on the map. Super useful when you were doing that. So, because the only other way around that would be like, I think getting morale or going back into a town, which would reset the map. Okay, let's see. Maybe in celebration of previously getting the jumping star, which gave you five ribbits, that will get 5 5th birthday boxes. Let's see. Put this down here. 5th birthday 1. Ooh, this guy doesn't look familiar.
Yeah, look, 7 is the best one.
I got 5th birthday boxes. Changed it up.
You could have other ones.
Yeah. 7 are the best ones? I haven't looked up what's inside of each. I know each had like a range of stuff. But been away too long to remember what stuff was in each box. 5th birthday box. Oh, got another one of these Ophil Nahuli. Come on, pop back out. Okay. No wonder I'm getting things that I don't remember getting. Seem to remember only getting whites for the entire time I was actually playing. Another 5th birthday box. Oh, miniature Ventari. Another 5th one. We got another Summit Giant Herder. Ooh, he's so big. Last one. Oh, another Ophil Nahuli. Okay. On to the next. How far did I get in that achievement on this one? I got the achievement with this guy. I then instantly killed myself, it looks like. So I got a difference going on there. Man. 6 years since I last looked at this. Oh, look, I got a peppermint scythe with this. I hope they bring that into Final Fantasy XIV. Let's see. Gotta get out of here. Go back to Lion's Arch. All right. Sounds like 7s are the way to go.
Yeah, you got some good advice here.
Thank you, thank you. Even more 7s. This person's all 7s all the time. Put those at the end. Okay. 7th birthday number 1. Ooh. Langen. I like how he's a little bit see-through. Very nice. Miniature Ula. Miniature Yora. Where you at? She's so tall. Another spicy boy. Flowstone Elemental. Ooh. That looks intense. Last one. Miniature Lich. Man, he's tall too. Gotta go add these. I'm curious about whether I was close to any of the miniature goals on the Guild Wars 2 calculator. for all those bonus items. So eventually we'll get back into that, but first we just have to beat Final Fantasy XIV.
We didn't beat it?
We haven't even finished the MSQ.
Yeah, we did.
No, we just keep going into MSQ roulettes.
I mean, we just need to talk to a few people and we're done.
Yeah, but we haven't talked to those people, so... Okay. Alright. To the next one. This one I must have made much later because I actually have my 5th, 6th, and 7th birthday box. And then I only have 3 of the vouchers. How far did I get? I got the Legendary Survivor on this one too. And then I killed myself again. Okay. All 7th, all the time. We'll open up the 5th first. 5th, 6th, and 7th. Okay. 5th box. Miniature Seer. Seems about right. 6th box. Oh, another Everlasting Goron tonic. 7th box. Oh, another Spicy Man. Oh, got another miniature elf. So cute. Another Prince Rurik. Oh, and the Candy Smith. So cute. Okay. I feel like I'm like halfway through characters now. Go throw them in there. And then they will live their life inside of the storage chest until I turn the game on again.
When are you gonna turn on the game again?
I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to go through the campaign stories again just because I forget, but that's just me not remembering what the stories were at all. Ooh. Everlasting Dunkoro tonic. Oh, yeah! A Healy boy. Oh, so many different things. Destroyer cores. Different armor. Elite necrotic. Different scar patterns. Just trying to remember all the things that I had at one point. Okay. Even more 7th birthday boxes. Okay. 7th birthday number 1. Another prince. 7th. I will pop him out. 7th birthday number 2. Oh, I remember trying to get that flame sword. I feel like there was another flame sword. That was like blue flames though. That maybe that's what I remember trying to actually get. 7th birthday number 2, miniature Ula again. Number 3, another Spicy Man. Ooh, miniature Shiro. Come on, pop out. There he is. And then a second miniature Shiro. I also don't remember Like, I mean, it being a gold or a purple or green or anything like that in the economy nowadays for the game. No clue what any of these are worth. But I'm mainly interested in putting them in my Hall of Monuments.
Well, at least it's worth something to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's the new character just made. She's not going to have anything. I wonder what animal my ranger has. I assume someone had to have the black chocobo. Not chocobo. Black moa. Creature's not an animal. I don't have any animals? Huh. That's
But
not
you're
a...
a ranger?
Yeah. I mean, if I remember right, you can dismiss your animal because that's how you could get a different one. You could tame a different one, but why would I dismiss them? Maybe I was going after something specific. What do I got on here? 6 of them again. Miniature lich. I could look like another ranger. Okay. Let's get back to... We'll go to the one place we haven't been. Find the gift giver. I assume they're either over there. Over there. Or I was standing right next to him. Guildmaster. Guild registrar. Skills. Fashion. Merchant. Oh, that's interesting. That I guess it makes sense. They put one of these things in the pre-searing Ascalon City. Okay, that's why I'm not finding one here. It's because... Well, then we'll go back to Cometon because it's back at the Xingzhe Monastery. Keep thinking that sound is like air getting into a microphone, but it's the sound of a waterfall in the background. It's the same. It's like the same sound as like turning up the gain on a microphone way too loud. Okay. Bunch of 7th birthday ones. What else could we get? Come on, something good. Another Candy Smith Marley. Ooh. Water Lady. Got a nice little scythe. Oh, and she's not afraid to use it.
I like her a lot.
Mm-hmm. Another Candy Smith Marley. A flamey one. Another miniature elf. Ooh, and a King Adelburn.
I will call her Lady Triton.
Lady Triton, even though she's got a scythe.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's see. I want to at least put this one in there. Okay. Next character.
I mean, I have 2 spoons right now.
Ooh. You could switch. Ooh, I got a 7th birthday present in 5. Yeah, I got the achievement on this person. I know I got it on the ranger. Monk and ranger were the ones that I played the most. Let's see.
Wait, you're saying I could get a scythe? Or 2 of them?
I don't know if there's a scythe yet, but if there's not, then we could always make one.
Yeah, let's get 2 scythes.
Double scythe. I like the way you think.
Pixel version.
Pixel scythe.
It might not look good. The spoons are great though.
Mm-hmm. All right. Once again, just a bunch of 7th day ones. Even though I really just want to click on other ones. Maybe the last person I'll click on random other ones. Just for fun. Okay, so I got a proper 7th birthday gift to start with. Another one of these antlered cat babies. Another one. If I just got all the same thing. Oh my god. 3 for 3! Come on, going for 4. Ow. Hey, can you read the name of this one for me?
Black Beast of Arg.
Look at him. Oh my goodness. I definitely didn't have this one.
It looks like a Don't Starve spider.
Mm-hmm. Like Weber.
Yeah.
But the actual spiders. Oh, I got a second one.
Yeah.
Oh, and then an elf to command them all. So if you didn't see, I got 3 of these cats. 2 of these. Oh, that was like a perfect line of stuff. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. Let's see. Okie dokie. Put that in there. Da, 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 da. Word of madness. Put that in there. So I'm not sure what I already have. Okay, it's my last character. He also got that achievement. He also has multiple candy cane weapons. Nice candy cane candy cane hammer. Nice candy cane sword. This was also apparently the person that I kept all my inscriptions and upgrades on. So I gotta clear up enough space that I can hold on to all these things. Okay, that should be enough. Oh, I thought that was like stuff clipping through that person. But no, it's just 2 people standing on top of each other. Okay. Let's see. Last but not least, I did get the title with this one. Yeah, I just spent way too much time doing all these. What's the age on this one? Oh, I played this person a bit. I played Warrior a bit more. 96 hours. Let's see. Okay. Last one. We'll just go up to the chest. See it from the very top. Armor penetration, strength and honor. I remember always liking this, like, skinny sword. Or some punchy hands. Okay. Getting distracted. 7th birthday number 1. Another one of those guys. Another little cat man. Ooh, a white rabbit. Come on. There it is. Oh, another water lady. A miniature elf. Ooh, a bone dragon. Last but not least. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
What if it's something good? I mean, I don't know what's good and what's not anymore, but what if? Count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Oh! Catman!
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a lackluster end. But I liked it anyway. Now let me go see with the character that I was trying to do the most things on. Can I see if there was anything that I didn't already have? Maybe I should look up that Guild Wars 2 calculator thing. Let's see here. Just give me 1 second. Dun, 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 dun. Guild Wars 2 calculator. Build help. Yeah, Hall of Monuments. Okay, let me see about browser. Add a new one. Not that. Window. Dun, dun. Let's see. Get that all the way down. There. Let's see. Okay, so devotion. Can I make it so that sound? Don't mute it when it's in the background. Okay. Okay, there we go. At least it has the sound in the background. Oh, I was real close. Back to overview. I just needed 50 minis to get 1 more point. Granted,
Wow.
one more point wouldn't really do anything for me, but getting closer and closer to that ghostly hero title. Yeah, so I prioritized getting all the extra items. On this fellowship, yeah, some people were real good. This one I did nothing except for 1 weapon. which was pretty cool. But that one I got the most points that I could potentially get. I also didn't do PvP a whole bunch, so I never got like a PvP achievement.
Yeah, I don't do PvP at all, and now Eva is telling us to play for them.
Hmm.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, easy way to get PvP stuff is just have somebody else do it for you.
They're so close to getting their achievement.
Let's see. Pretty sure I didn't have that guy. Pretty sure I didn't have that guy. Maybe not that one. I feel like Bone Dragon was something that I was missing. Okay, let's see. All this time away, if I can come back, we will take. Where is it? One sec. We will hide that. Okay. So moved over a couple things from the chest. See if there's a couple more things to add. But it was cool that they made kind of, you know, a carryover from playing the first game. It was a nice addition. Let's see. Monument of Devotion. Oh, look. I'm pretty sure if it says that I can display them, that means that I didn't have them before.
Yeah.
I like this miniature beast.
How about the water lady?
I would have to go back to my other characters and put one in the chest because I forgot to do that. But look, they made it all fun and exciting to turn things in. Whoa. One. Ooh, Bone Dragon. Ooh. Look at him. So spooky. He's got no arms.
He almost looks like a chicken.
Well, dragons are probably just overgrown chickens. Let's see. Miniature Shiro. Shiro, if I remember right, was the kind of like main antagonist of the factions campaign. Last but not least, one more. I'll save the rest just in case. What if I play this again and I want to like put stuff somewhere? King Adelburn. What if I need to sell stuff so I can get sweet money?
You never sell anything, and you also don't care about money.
I remember having a naive aspect of selling stuff when I first played this game. Like, so people would sell, like, if you look at this staff that I have, it's green, it's a unique weapon. And there was one that was like a necromancer staff that was really good for being an actual like corpse raising necromancer. And I used to farm that a whole bunch, but at one point before I started farming it, I found a staff that had the same stats and I could like add the same augments to it and everything. And then I was trying to sell it for as much as the unique staff was. So because to me, I was like, well, people are only buying it because it's really good for a necromancer. And then the first time I tried to trade it, someone was just like, what is this? Why are you trying to sell me something that's not what you said you were selling? I was like, well, it's got the same exact stats. Like, what's it matter? They're like, that's not what I'm trying to buy. I learned very quickly afterwards that people are actually trying to buy the items that they're trying to buy. They don't care about the stats.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see. If I open up that window capture and I redo this. Is it going to show? It's going to show sometimes. Oh, not yet. Come on, update already. I need to know that I got one more point forward. Uh-oh. It'll update eventually. Yeah. Someone has Champion of the Gods title. Probably a lot of people. And it's fun that you can actually go back to this game and you can keep playing it if you want. They didn't like close it down and then like, well, only, you know, only people that played it at that point could get the Champion of the Gods title in Guild Wars 2. It's like, no, I'm going to go back and grind the first game. But this is what it's going to look like if I just pop 3 more. Ooh, look at that. It's going to be 1 extra point. So good. So close. But so far. But anyway. I think that's about the gist of what I just wanted to go through Guild Wars and I just wanted to see what it was like again. We started a new character, saw the beginning bits, picking out another story, another profession. Could do that eventually. Guess I get the itch again. But having played Final Fantasy XIV and now coming back to here, it's got a lot of interesting things, and I like that it's still going and that there's still, you know, reasonably a bit of people playing it. Seems more people are playing Nightfall than starting off factions. I wonder how busy the actual main town is. Oh, I can't check on this character. I also like how fast the characters load. That's nice. Just go to my main character. Close that off. How busy is the main town? There's still a bit of people around. How's the trade channel look? Oh, people are talking about ooze. But yeah. Yeah, at this point, Commandant's the main place. I mean, that makes sense. I went there and I was surprised to see that there was 2 districts. I'm just wondering about those people that still somehow find themselves buying like just prophecies or something like that. They're just like, yeah, nobody's playing this game. Or seeing a whole bunch of people in pre-searing and not knowing what's that's gonna change. But yeah, that is quite the slew of people. Interesting. I keep pressing space thinking I'm gonna jump, but it's not happening. All right. I think I'm gonna go take a break for a little while. Thanks for hanging around and Zugmuga? Hopefully I said that somewhere close to right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging around and giving me the updates, reacclimating me to what the best presents are. Super useful that I didn't just waste them all on the first birthday presents. But yeah. All right. Well, see you around, everyone. Have a nice day. All that stuff. And maybe we'll be back on to play some more Guild Wars at one point. Who knows?